How's it going, people? Sean Talks Wrestling. Let's talk about NXT for the 24th of January. A lot of good storytelling here, building toward Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day, Judgment Day. A lot of names over the years with this whole revenge plotline type of thing. Anyway, enjoyable show. Enjoyable just because of those reasons, man. Like, you're giving people a goal to get to, a storyline, something that helps build characters. Starts off with a storyline from I think last week. Indy Hartwell took on Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton thinks she's better than everybody in the locker room. Indy Hartwell saying, "Hey, we're gonna kick you out of this locker room because it's big, and you don't deserve a big locker room because you haven't put the work in." Blah X Y Z. They have the match, pretty decent. Tiffany Stratton feigns an injury, and that distracts Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell gets hit with a punch, and then a front roll, whatever. Just, it's like the thing Sheamus does. And then Tiffany Stratton hits her version of the best moonsault ever. Pins 1, 2, 3. Is the end of the feud? I don't know. I guess they could continue it or they could move on. Man, it just seems like Indy Hartwell is getting stepped on. Like, very talented wrestler. Um, I don't know. I don't know why WWE is putting her in these like weird positions. I mean, I know she had the thing with Candice LeRae and the whole Johnny Gargano family thing, but it's just like ever since they left and went to Raw, been it's been a downward slope for Indy. She's very talented, so I don't know why they're doing that to her, but it is what it is. Let me see. Then you talking about that? Oh, yeah, Diamond Mine. Uh, Diamond Mine backstage. They're sparring with Gulak and his students, and then Gulak gets in and wrestles Julius Creed, and Julius hits him with a trip. He gets upset, and he said he'll meet them in the ring. So that sets up a match for tonight. See, I'm just moving through. Oh, then you had Chase University in the ring. They're celebrating Thea Hall's victory from last week or a couple weeks before, and Thea Hall's facial expressions are out of this world. She's playing this excited college teenage type of girl who looks up to Chase or whatever, and her visual facial expressions are on point. They're over the top, but they fit. So they're handing her the certificate. Out comes JD McDonough, and he's like, "You guys are jokes. You guys are this, that. Get out of my ring. I'm dressed to fight, and you're dressed like a clown." Chase, Chase, whatever he said. "Look, I gotta tell my student, always be ready, so you never gotta get ready." He takes off the robe and punches JD. Sets up the match. JD McDonough, Chase. Man, I enjoyed the match. Chase, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really see a lot of his matches. I think most of his matches are on Level Up. But from what I saw, man, the guy's pretty good, man. Crowds behind it, especially that Chase U Stump thing. Uh, but in the end, which was weird. The ending of this match was very weird because Chase, he had just hit. I think he hit McDonough with not Code Red, Canadian Power Driver or Chase Power Driver, whatever you want. I don't know. There's so many variations that people have that it's stolen from Petey Williams. So he hits him with that. McDonough puts his foot on the ropes, and then Duke Hudson, who was just I don't know how he became a part of Chase because I thought the other guy was in there. I don't like. I saw last time I saw Chase Hudson before, not Chase Hudson, but Duke Hudson before he got into Chase. He was in a feud with we hasn't been there for a while. To the Moon. I forgot that guy's name. Trevor. It's Trevor. I know it's Trevor Murdoch, but I forgot his NXT name. Trevor. You say Trevor Murdoch. So Trevor Murdoch was it Trevor, whatever. So he had a feud with that guy, and then he got his head shaved because it was some kind of gambling thing, and then now he's in Chase. I don't really know how that happened. Anyway, after the Canadian Destroyer gets kicked out of, or I think it was a foot on the ropes, really. Duke Hudson walks out, and you're thinking, okay, is he turning on Chase or whatever? They're confused, Thea and Chase, and JD McDonough hits Chase with the Devil Inside pop-up backdrop driver, and at the end, Chase and Thea, they're confused. I'm just skip ahead. So they get to the back of the locker room, Thea and Chase, and Duke walks in, and they're like, "Man, what happened? Why did you leave?" And Duke's like, "I didn't leave, but yeah, I did. And the reason I did leave because I know you don't trust me. But here's what I did. I put us in position to get into the tag match. First, I went to Shawn Michaels, and he said to ask New Day. New Day said yes. So now it's going to be for the last open spot at Vengeance Day in the four-way tag team tournament for tag team title match. The Dyad versus I don't really know these guys. It's Doofus and Stunther and Blade. I've seen these guys just like I don't get it. And then you have Chase University. Now, I don't know. Like I kind of see like Duke Hudson turning on Chase, but then maybe not. Why isn't Tony D'Angelo and his new underboss in here? Like they had a segment where they were talking about, hey, it's good to be this and that, and you're the new underboss. They're at a private dinner backstage at a restaurant, and they're like, hey, we gotta make a big impression. What bigger impression would it be to win the tag team titles? Like I don't know. It felt out of place that they're in this tournament now, and then you got the only team I could see winning is the Dyad. But anyway, I don't know. That segment was just kind of whatever. Except with him walking out. Then you had Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus Ivy Nile and Tatum Parley. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even really watch this match. I watched the end. Not nothing. It wasn't. I don't know. I'm just skip past this. The whole thing was Jensen. He wants Kiana and Henley to be friends because he's getting with Kiana, and they win the match. And then later on, he gets to Shawn Michaels and says, "Hey, I got you guys signed up for Vengeance Day to face whoever wins the tag team tournament, the tag team titles." And moving past that, you had the Creed Bros versus Hank Walker and Drew Gulak. What a weird pairing of a tag team. A guy who dressed like he should be with Briggs and Jensen, trying to learn from a grappling specialist who hasn't changed. Like, what a weird pairing. So they have the match. Julius and Brutus, they're doing their thing in the ring, pretty much throwing Hank around like a sack of shit. Get to the end of the match. Out comes Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey distracts Drew Gulak, which leads to Hank getting double teamed by both of the Creed brothers, and it ends up with Julius hitting him with the Julius and Brutus. Brutus hitting him with the Brutus ball, the top rope. It's a top rope splash type of thing. Cannonball, a cannonball splash. That's what he hit it with. A cannonball splash on the top rope. He wins the match. 1, 2, 3. Creek Brothers. They're on the mic. They're talking to Ivy, saying like, "Hey, we were on track, but now we're back on track." Out comes Jinder and Indias and Sheer, and they say that, "Hey, we want to challenge you guys now that all four of us are 100%." So it's gonna be the Creed Brothers versus Indias and Sheer next week. I think it's gonna be a pretty decent, hard hitting affair. So I'm looking forward to that. Going past that, Wendy Chu took on Electra Lopez. Nothing really major here. I guess the plot line of this one was Electra has a protege. And anyway, she has a protege, and she's trying to tell her that you gotta win by any means necessary. Toward the end of the match, Electra, she's in the corner. She goes in her tights, pulls out a brass knuckle, and pops Wendy Chu, and she wins the match. And I don't even know what happened here, because it was a slight distraction, but not a distraction. And then her protege is looking like, "Oh man, I can't believe you won like that," but then you won it. Moving past that. Oh, this character. So backstage, an interviewer is talking to the screen, and out comes on the screen Stevie Turner. I think it's Zaya Brooks. I think it's rebranded Zaya Brooks. So she's a wrestler slash screamer. I think I've seen this character before. Like anytime WWE does like these trying to be hip, edgy, ahead of the curve technology characters, it always falls flat. It just like, okay, she's a screamer slash wrestler. She's also a heel, and she's a nerd, because she's not like how can I say? She's not sexy, like seducing. She's like, "Hey, I'm better than you because I'm screaming. I'm using a computer to do this," type of screamer. That kind of heel. It's not like they would have put like a, and they would have molded the Tiffany Stratton's gimmick into this, like that type of thing. Like, "Hey, I'm a screamer, but Shawn Michaels might have my OnlyFans and blah blah." And I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it, because I've seen this gimmick way before in different variations of this, so I'm not convinced yet. Moving on past that. Oh yeah, you had Grayson Waller coming out talking shit to Braun Breaker. He's like, "Hey Braun, you're a coward. You this, you that. I'm better than you. I got my own belt. I'm gonna beat you. This, that. You suck. I had a great viral moment. I beat you up. This, that." Out comes Braun. They fight. They brawl. They do this. They do that. Security's holding one person back. Security holding the other person back. Waller gets out. He's talking shit. They brawl on the outside. They're getting held back. They brawl. They're getting held back. They brawl. They're getting held back. All of a sudden, Braun Breaker breaks through, and he goes through a wall. And Waller's still talking shit. And Braun's like in the rubble, hurt, crawled up to a ball after pretty much hurling himself full force through wooden barricade and whatever else you could think. So, not a bad segment for what it was. We had the tag team title match, the women's tag title match. Alba Fire took on both Carter and Chance. I think that's their name. Carter and Chance, yeah. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. So plot twist. I thought just they were going to be kicking Alba Fire's ass up and down the ring for like a couple of minutes, and then out comes out of nowhere Isla Dawn. No, at the beginning of the match, it's Soul Ruka, and she comes out and she's like, "Hey, I'll be your tag team partner." And look, Soul Ruka, very athletically talented. I especially like that springboard splash he did in the middle of the match. But I was just thrown off here. I was just like, okay, where are they going with this? Are they gonna have Alba just shit on Soul Ruka? Are they gonna have like I don't even know at this point. So the match ends with Chance and Carter hitting their ode to the Motor City Machine Guns um, on Soul Ruka. They pin Soul Ruka and Alba. She's just looking at Soul Ruka, and I thought, okay, well, we're gonna get Alba turning heel by attacking Soul Ruka for causing her the match because she didn't ask her to be out there, and she also is the one that got pinned. So she walks past Soul Ruka. Okay, maybe that's gonna happen later on down the line. But then the camera pans to Alba Dawn on the ring on the entranceway, and she's like looking at Alba, and then Alba walked past her, and then Isla Dawn follows behind her, laughing maniacally. Um, I That's a weird way to get there. I'm not mad at it that Alba and Isla Dawn are probably gonna become tag team partners of some kind of force. I wouldn't have expected it to happen that way, but hey. So more, yeah. Sorry. After the match, Carter and Chance are celebrating, and on the top balcony, you had Kiana and Henley, and they say, "Hey, you know what? We are gonna face you guys at Vengeance. So we're gonna get James Henley versus Chance and Carter for the NXT Women's Tag Team title at Vengeance Day." And I don't think they're gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a pretty decent match, just because of what they're doing with Isla and Isle Fire. Let's see, moving on past that. Um, okay. Oh, Cora Jade, she's backstage talking to the interviewer, and she's like, "Hey, this new girl, she needs to learn some respect, and I'm the big boss around here because I got my hat turned backwards, and I'm a pretty I'm a pretty looking girl, so yeah, and now I got an attitude, I'm bad, yeah." And she put a feather in my locker. Then you cut to outside, and somebody's attacked Nakia Lyons. Who? Who? Who could it have been? Who? Um, we cut from that. Then you get Wesley coming to Donovan Dijak, or Hard Justice. Donovan Dijak. Why are they using the old TNA pay-per-view for a guy's nickname? Hard Justice. Donovan Dijak. Um, and Dijak, he's like, "Look, hand me over the title. It'll save you a lot of pain. And I need the title." Wesley, he's like, "Look, I'm not handing you the title. It might be stupid, but been stupid all my life. Taking chances, going across the world, doing this, doing that, doing this, having people scream my name, becoming a good wrestler, this, that, and I'll see you at Vengeance Day." I'm not mad at this whole build. Diamond Dijak coming back as a more edgier character before he came in. Now he's jaded by the wrestling industry. He wants the title that's eluded him for years. Now he's Hard Justice. He's coming for the justice. You got Wesley, who after his thing with his tag team partner, he had to find his own way. And I don't even want to talk about that, because the tag team partner thing was, what a roller coaster ride. Like, Yeah, man. Like, be careful out there, guys. Just always be careful. And if you're white, never shave your mustache into a Hitler. Hey, I shaved my mustache, but I left a little bit right here. I'm Hitler. Don't even do that. Don't do that. Don't. Just save yourself some trouble. Just don't. Um, and Wesley, a different story from the bottom, from lowly. Oh, what am I gonna do? I have no tag team partner. What am I gonna do? To winning the NXT title, the NXT North American title. What a story! So I'm not mad at this coming together, and I think it's gonna be a great match at Vengeance Day. I can't wait for that one, really. Um, oh, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. Oh, so make sure though. Make sure. Oh, yes, yes. So the main event, it was a sit down. So it's going to be Roxanne Perez taking on Gigi Dolan and JCJ for the women's title. And the whole backstory was, hey, Tyler Trash, they might be falling apart at the seams. They might be breaking up the jealousy over having who wins the title. So they get in there and they're arguing back and forth, and Roxanne just calling the mill, and she's laughing it up. She's to quote Coach Greg L, she's sniggle and she's sniggling. She's all a sniggle. She's just sniggling it up, watching the team implode. But then drop it a dime, they pull her ass over the table. What you laughing at, bitch? They beat her up, double chokeslam powerbomb her through the table, and surprise, surprise, they're on the same page for now. They both hold the title. So from sniggling, just a good old sniggle, just a good old, they're imploding just as a good old sniggly sniggle, to hey, they got both of their hands around around my throat and they're powerbomb and they're choke slamming me through a table. Wow, what a sudden change in events. Um, I don't think they're gonna last. I don't. Is this the breakup of Toxic Attraction at Vengeance Day? It's possible. Would I like to see a feud between Gigi and JC? Um, Not really, man. Like, to tell you the truth, I don't get why we're having this match. Um, Maybe they want to save Roxanne and Cora for WrestleMania. Maybe. I think they were a better opponent. You could have had. Hmm. 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 Well, you could have had some other people. I just can't think of them now because NXT is just so whatever. But I think having this this tag team versus a single person, and will they break up, will they not break up dynamic is just, it's not needed. I mean, if anything, bring Toxic Attraction up to Raw or SmackDown. Like, doing this in NXT is just so unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys tell me what you thought about these NXT. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, like I said, what it's building to and what happened. I when a reality show has a clear path to where it's going to go instead of just random wacky stuff, I appreciate it. So anyway, in it AEW tonight, Mark Briscoe debuting on AEW. I think that's going to be a memorable moment, and I think there's going to be some kind of tribute to Jay Briscoe. Um, it's probably going to be very emotional. I'm going to take it that it's going to be emotional time, especially if he's wrestling Jay Lethal. So I think this match is going to be one to be seen on television. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.